Hello, everybody. Shane here. So I have been reading a little bit of Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wen, and she talks about the case method, also known as the first operation, in her book. And it was made popular by a guy named Paul Foster Case, who was an American occultist. So I found it interesting because it's very analytical. Yes, in any tarot reading, I think there's intuition involved, but this kind of takes some of the guesswork out, focuses the reading a little bit more. And if you go by what Paul Foster Case recommends, in some cases you don't do the reading at all. So we're going to talk about it very informally. I have not done it yet, so this will be my first time really kind of seeing it actually used. So I'm learning with you guys. So if I make any mistakes or say something that's not entirely true, my bad. I'm learning. We're learning together. So, all right, let's just do it. Okay, so you need a deck of tarot cards right here. And then you're going to shuffle however you shuffle. Lay down the deck. And this is with your querent. They've asked their question. You've picked, we should probably do this. You pick a signifier card. So it doesn't really matter right now. Let's just do let's pretend we have an actress, no name actress, who is asking if she will get her role in this upcoming movie she's auditioned for. I'm trying to then find Queen of Wands. I'm gonna find it. Found it. Look at that. I am using my new Children of Litha. I probably should have put my phone on airplane mode. I think we'll be all right. Children of Litha Tarot. I just got it a couple days ago, and I'm really excited to be using it. So we're going to use the Queen of Wands as the signifier card. Okay? So you put that in your deck. You shuffle a little bit. I'll shuffle a little bit. And then you're going to cut the deck a few times. 1, 2, 3 times to be exact. So you're going to lay it down here. We're going to cut it once in half, roughly in half, and put that 2 spaces over. Sorry, I can't show you guys this. It would be too difficult. But, so you're going to take the deck, you're going to cut it, you're going to leave a space there, because then what you're going to do is cut this deck, put it right here, right? So that's in the middle of those two. Then you're going to cut this deck and put it right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that, roughly in the middle. And so then you've got 4 piles. And I don't know if this will work or not. This is my own little cheat sheet. I think it's going to be backwards for you guys, so fairly unhelpful. Let's be honest. So when I say first pile, we're going from left to right. And these have letters. The first pile to the right being H2V, H1I. And I don't know why those are backwards, but they're backwards. And read backwards, they're I, H1V, H2. And those are, I guess, that's the Hebrew word for the name of the supreme being. So very cool there. I don't know anything about any of that, but I know that much now. And it's from the Hebrew Tetragrammaton. I'm probably not saying that right at all. I'm not even very sure what that is. So we're not going to go there. But that's what, and they all stand for the 4 elements, for the 4 suits. So I is fire, H1 is water, V is air, and H2 is earth. Pretty neat, right? Okay, so then what you do, they've asked their question. My actress has asked, am I going to get, the part in the movie that I've just auditioned for yesterday? Okay, so then you go through the piles. And this is, it takes a minute to do. But you got to find now the signifier card in these piles. So I apologize. This might take me just a second. First pile. Top of the first pile, actually. Very top card. So that means then, okay, so according to Paul Foster Case, that should align with her question. Whatever question our actress has asked, the question should directly relate to the element. So so her question is, am I getting the part? That would be definitely a wands issue. Wands are career, ambitions, that fire energy, especially as an actress, wanting the part in her career, in the movie for her career. And wouldn't you know it, guys? It landed in fire. And she does say that it happens very, very, nearly all the time. The question is going to end up in the pile that it correlates to, that the question correlates to, which is so interesting that she is saying that happens and that, it just happened. So that's exciting. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't, because Paul Foster Case, his idea was that if it didn't land in the pile, so if it hadn't landed in wands, you have to redo it. Skip the question altogether. It wasn't, the tarot wasn't meant to be asked. It's not ready for that question. We're not lined up right to do it. She, Benebell Wen, does not subscribe to that idea. So she created, but it still falls under the suits. The idea that whatever the question is, then whichever category it lands in is going to be, my words aren't coming out right today. But you're going to use that suit as the basis, the foundation of the answer to her question. So, let me try to give an example. If our Queen of Wands had landed, say, over here in the earth pile, Pentacles, earthy, that might mean that, to me, that the answer to her question lies in her, maybe, her foundations, her home surroundings. Let's see what Benebell Wen says. So H2, which is Earth, is money, business, property. So problem is in the foundation. Resolution reached through sensing. So this would probably be maybe an actual action. So we're looking at what she can be doing. That kind of seems like wands. So, but I still feel like that's quite an earth thing. What's going on around her physically? It could pertain to her health, and perhaps what might be coming up with her health that might affect this role. So that is what Benebell Wen says, is her suggestion for what to do if it landed. So let's go down. That was Earth. Primal air. So air is V. So if it had landed in air, then the resolution is reached through, what would it be? Thinking. Yeah. So it would then become a thought issue, so we would approach the question from what's going on in her mind. How can she influence or come to accept the decision, in her mind? So like I said, it focuses the question a lot more and gives you a better indication of how you're going to read the cards that are laid out. So the last one is our water. Resolution reached through feeling. And this is about how the people around her, the community. So maybe this is more about what the director is thinking, what the talent acquisition specialist, was thinking, what they're thinking about the situation, or how her friends are affecting the outcome, something along those lines. So we did get it in the fire spot, which is exactly what we wanted, because this is more about career ambitions. And then that you focus on your resolution is reached through intuition, is what wands are saying. I think some of this is your own intuition, and my intuition tells me that intuition is more cups. Intuition slash feeling is both kind of cups. So I'm not sure how much I prescribe to the thought that wands are resolution reached through intuition. I feel more like it's a resolution reached through action. Wands are all about action, and so it also says that you want to focus on the development of the issue. So perhaps what happened during her audition, what happened, what she can be doing now to further her cause, perhaps. So I would look at this as more of the action pile for myself. And that is how we are going to answer a question. So I think we'll just do like a mini cross, mini Celtic. So then you simply, you might want to leave I probably should have, we're not going to do it though, probably leave the signifier out and use that perhaps as your, I'm not going to though, because I am, because look, the tarot, what am I going to do? I pulled right to it without even meaning to. So we're going to use that as our center for the cross. And we're going to pull some cards and read for our actress who really wants this role in the upcoming film. So my Celtic is just, a card over her. So what's crossing this? Then you got to your left, to your right. Then you got one below and one above. Done. So we're reading this. So even if you don't get any wands, say you got a bunch of cups, then even I'm like, oh my God. You're going to read the cups as more of wands. Does that make sense? Not exactly. Like, you're not going to turn the cups into wands, but you're still going to use the cups as more of a fire energy. You're going to incorporate them with that fire energy because that's the pile that your querent landed in, and that's what you're reading about, if that makes sense, So what crosses her? Again, we have our Queen of Wands. What crosses her is the Magician. So what is kind of standing in her way? And I would simply say that she is standing in her own way. This could be signifying somebody else for her. This is hard because she's not a real person. It could mean so many things. But we'll say that she is standing in her own way, maybe using too many of her faculties, really overdoing things, overthinking, over-strategizing, and maybe she needs to relax a bit. So that's what the Magician crossing means to me. To her left is Temperance. And that's recent past, or what has brought her to the issue. So it looks like she's had, maybe she doesn't have so much balance now. She's letting the situation really get the better of her. She went into the audition on a very level field. She was very balanced, let's say, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. She was ready for this role, and she did everything she can to get prepared for this role. So she's in the right spot there. Let's not read future first. We'll read the bottom card to me. And the Celtic Cross, a lot of people use that bottom and top card for different things. There's different meanings. But this is what's going on kind of under the surface. Unconsciously, what's going on here? What are her thoughts? What's influencing her that she doesn't? So like the moon card, is the moon energy is what we're looking at. And we have the beautiful Six of Cups. So I would tell her that maybe she's leaning too much on the thoughts and advice from peers, or family, her friends. I would say that maybe the chaotic energy she's experienced over the situation is stemming from listening to too many people about it. She's probably going around talking to a few friends, family members, rehashing the audition. You know, this is what happened. This is how it went. This is how I feel it's going to go. This is how I feel, and that's no good for her right now. I would say, a lot of times asking, you know, just one or two people is helpful. If you go beyond that, this is just what I'm getting from this card. If you go beyond that, you're getting too much information. You're listening to too much and it's overwhelming. I would say too that she's letting maybe past auditions influence her mind right now. So maybe some past auditions either did not go as well as she expected, and she didn't. She didn't get the work, which is making her overactive now and very anxious right now about the results. Or she has gotten a lot of the parts she's wanted, and that makes her very, very confident right now, but not confident enough to get rid of, you know, all this anxiety that is surrounding her, because I am seeing that in this. So, Page of Pentacles. And this is what is, for me, the top card, and it's what is the divine's will? What is your best action right now? What should you be focused on? What does your higher power want for you? Great card. It is the Page of Pentacles. And this is saying simply to take it easy. You know, quit thinking about the past and how events may have unfolded in the past, you know, like this. It's a steadfastness. It's confidence. It is confidence, but it is just breathing. It is just slowing down. You know, it's going to be all right. Maybe I'm the one anxious. But this is what it's saying to me, that, you know, you're at the start maybe of something new here. And whether or not you do or don't get the job, this is going to be a new opportunity. So perhaps if you don't get this job per se, it will lead to a new opportunity that is going to be even better for you. So slow down, be patient, all is going to be right in the end. And then the near future card, we actually have the Eight of Wands, which tells me and her that things are going to be moving very fast. And this is a Wands card, so it really does have to do with the realm of careers, that ambition, that the go-getter, you know. So she should expect a decision rather quickly. And then I would say again, you know, if it doesn't work out, if you don't get the job, something else is going to come along really quickly. Thus the need for just the stability. Go back to your temperance. Go back to the stability that you found there. Be that Page of Pentacles. And, you know, and that's how we're reading this. Like the Page of Pentacles, I'm reading a little bit more as the Page of Wands. Not entirely, because we have that grounding energy and I really feel that. And Page of Wands, while grounded, isn't as grounded as the Page of Pentacles. But I'm leaning a little bit more into that wand energy because that is the pile that we found these cards in. And, you know, the Cups I read, you know, I think I read it as the Six of Cups. But again, I let a little bit of that fire energy in to kind of boost my intuition. So that's kind of what you want to be doing, I think, when reading like this. So if we had found it in the, say, the swords pile, this reading probably would have been a little bit different. In fact, I probably didn't read that. Yeah, I think I did, but I would have read it as more of an internal struggle rather than what's going on around her with maybe family, friends, because that is really hitting me, and that is something that I would probably dive into a little bit more and pull a few more cards for her in this reading, because I would feel like outside influences definitely have something to do with this situation. That's just the feeling I'm getting. If it had been swords, I would have read all of these cards as a little bit more of an internal struggle in her mind over what is going on, which I incorporated somewhat here, but not entirely. I focused more on the fire energy in this reading. That's it. I know that was a bit chaotic. I was all over the place because I am learning too. I liked how that worked. I did. And I like how it focused the energy a little bit more. I felt there was a little bit more clarity for myself in the reading, which will bring her more clarity, It helps both the reader and the querent. So I really, really like that. I really like that. And you could always go with the original idea that Paul Foster Case had. And, if it doesn't end up in the right pile, then the tarot simply doesn't want to read that question. It's not appropriate right now. But I really did like how Benebell Wen created this new, I think she created this new method where you don't have to do that. Whichever pile it ends up in is going to be the basis for the reading. It's going to be how you're going to use the cards. So very, very interesting. And I think it worked well. And I'm surprised that it ended up in the pile that we wanted. That's interesting. So, I plan on doing this for some readings here in the near future. And I'll probably give you an update in a couple weeks and let you know, maybe I'll keep some notes and let you know, how it goes. How many times it ended up in the right pile, how many times it didn't. How did the reading go, when it did as opposed to when it didn't. So it'll be interesting. Let me know what you think, if you have used this method, if you do use this method, if it works for you, if there's anything that you would have changed in the way that I read it, please let me know. I am super open to any ideas or suggestions when it comes to this method, because I really think it is something I want to use. I think it's very beneficial. So that's all. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.